there. I'm Lindsay, dog trainer, Cancer Sun, Aries Moon, and Halloween enjoyer. And today, I'm going to be showing you 2 games that work like magic to help your dog cope with challenging distractions around Halloween. Let's get started. For my first spell, I'm going to be showing you how to turn novel items and distractions in the environment into a cue to re-engage with you and help your dog feel more comfortable in the presence of those distractions. But first, we're going to need a few things. Treats, a clicker, a dog, and a helper to be a distraction. There are 2 levels to the Engage-Disengage game. At the first level, you simply click or give your marker word when your dog looks at the distraction in the environment, which should prompt them to turn back to you. Remember, the clicker is not a magic wand. If you haven't conditioned your dog to a clicker or a verbal marker, find a video on how to do that. I'm on a strict time limit. Anyhow, when your dog looks back to you, give them a treat. Repeat this process until you reach a level 2, which is where your dog looks back to you before you click. When this happens, click and treat. When you first start teaching this game, start with low-level distractions like somebody your dog knows. This way, you can teach the game without triggering an unwanted reaction from your dog before applying it to things that they may find more challenging. Anya and Ash go way back, right, Ash?
I will start by having Ash walk around as normal, which will prompt Anya to look at them so that we can start the game. Once your dog gets the hang of it and is offering level 2s, you can have your helper do weird things, like pretend to enjoy candy corn, jog in place, and reenact the entirety of Phantom of the Opera. You can also introduce props like wheelchairs, scooters, hula hoops, and toys to change the picture. By gradually increasing the level of difficulty and continuing to reward for calm behavior, we can lay the groundwork for exposure to things our dogs find triggering. This is commonly applied to dog reactivity, for example, but it's also incredibly useful during holidays where there are plenty of odd things around the neighborhood, such as during Halloween.
Once your dog is shown confidence with the pattern of this game over the course of however many sessions are needed, you are ready to play Spooky Engage-Disengage, which is the same game, but spooky. You can apply this game to Halloween decorations that are outside on your walks, but for the purposes of our demonstration, Ash has agreed to change into a costume. If you're worried about how your dog will react to the costume, you can put it on in front of them. Once your helper is ready, you can get started. Nice girl. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Nice, good job. Yes, good girl. Nice, good job. Well done. Now you're ready to help your dog play Spooky Engage-Disengage. Unless you're not. There's always next year. Remember, distance is your friend. Don't try to play this game if your dog is already over threshold. And if you need any assistance, you know where to find me. Or maybe you don't. Let's move on. Next, we will be introducing Check It Out, which is a game that is useful for encouraging dogs to approach novel or potentially scary things and rewarding them for their bravery. There are a few steps to this game, which I will now explain.
First, teach your dog to touch your hand with their nose. Start by holding out your hand and marking and rewarding for any movement towards your hand. Remember, don't move your hand towards your dog's face. That's weird, and they probably won't like it. Ideally, your hand touch should have a pretty good amount of force behind it. Next, I want you to pick a few neutral items and familiar people to help you with this next step. I will be using a chair, and I recruited Emily to help me with this part of the exercise as well. Our goal is to teach our dog to touch neutral items and familiar people on cue with their consent, of course. You can start by having your hand in front of the item or having your helper hold out their hand if you are working with a person. Cue your dog to go touch. Mark and reward them when they do.
Once your dog is confidently touching familiar items and people, you can increase the level of difficulty by asking them to touch items they are mildly suspicious of, including Halloween decorations. Congratulations! If you have reached this point, you are ready for Check That Spooky Thing Out. To demonstrate, Emily will be putting her Halloween costume on.
When utilizing this game with things or people that your dog is wary of, they don't actually have to touch the thing. The goal is that they approach to whatever degree they feel comfortable, and then we provide reinforcement. If your dog needs more distance from whatever distraction you're working with, play the Engage Disengage game instead. Or get the heck out of there.
Thanks for watching. We hope this helps you get through Halloween. Remember, trick or treat happens one night a year, but clicking and treating is always in season. Happy training!